Hi, I'm Craig. I live in Caringbah South, in the south of Sydney. We have a two-bedroom brick home. It was built in the 60s. We've been here 15 years, and 13 years ago we did a major renovation around the back of the house to make better aspect available to us from the back of the house, which looks east. We discovered some water damage after that big renovation that was done 13 years ago, and we discovered that just a few months ago. A small piece of render fell off the back of the house and we could see some really damaged wood, and it was time to investigate that and see how bad this could be. So I looked in the local paper because we thought, well, we better get a builder or two out here to have a look at this and just see what sort of repairs would be needed with water damage like what we could see. On the outside it didn't look too serious, but of course this was all under a lot of render, so if the water had been getting in there a long time, we could only imagine with the untrained eye that this could be pretty serious. So the local paper flashed up a few names. I made contact with 3 of them. One of them was KC Constructions. All 3 came round to the house. The first 2 was a bit underwhelming. It didn't really give me the impression that they were thinking really hard about how hard this could be. I did get the feeling they were downplaying that side of it a little bit, maybe just to get in and do that first little bit of exploratory work and hopefully win whatever follows next. And then KC Constructions came along. I'd rung their number in the paper, spoke to Brooke, who gave me the rundown on when Chris would be out, which was a day or 2 later. He was punctual, always going to notice things like that. Showed him around the back of the house. I did exactly the same with him as I did with the other 2. And Chris wasn't going anywhere until he really understood everything that was behind that render. And I thought, well, that level of detail, that's an early signal of being thorough, and that's actually how it proved to be right through the job and right up to the successful end. Renovation work. But my wife and I talked about, well, what else could we get him to do? All those little jobs that aren't really big enough to get a tradesman or tradeswoman out. And we added 6 small jobs, all of which KC were happy to undertake. But then they did even more than that. You know, there were areas where they had to dig up some earth for us. They found pavers under the earth. Well, they put all those to one side and they cleaned them and said, there you go, Craig, they're over there in case you need it in some time in the future. And down the back, they put 11 tonne of blue metal in that lower area at the back of the house that now had gravel drain in it to protect the soaking, and all the water would now soak into earth naturally. That was pretty heavy going, and they had to move a lot of old earth to put in the gravel drain to put the earth back. Things along the way that they just did because it was a good thing to do. I'm really happy with the way the team coordinated their efforts, but those little jobs, they weren't sort of huffing and puffing and saying, well, that's not in scope. They were happy enough every single time to do those extra jobs. Those first 2 major jobs, when we had identified the amount of work to be done, and they did it on time and on budget. Now, it's not very often you can say that. And those 6 extra little jobs, one was even a new door on the laundry, and they did all those on time and on budget. I'm not sure I could be happier with a building exercise than the one that went on here. And the finished job, I've got a house that actually has value added to it. It's now safer in terms of the flow of water in and around and under the house, and all that water damage has been remedied, and the back of the house looks absolutely fantastic. And that's added value to the place as well. Couldn't be happier.